Imagine one man convincing millions of young guys worldwide that the path to success is domination, wealth at any cost, and treating women as property, all while facing serious allegations of manipulation, coercion, and worse. As of January 2026, Andrew Tate is still free, still posting, still influencing. Even as civil trials loom in the UK next summer and investigations drag on in multiple countries. Today, we're not here to debate his guilt, that's for the courts. We're here to dissect the dark psychology he uses to build loyalty, create dependency, and turn followers into an army. If you've ever wondered why his message hooks so hard, or how to spot similar tactics in your own life, stay until the end. This could save you or someone you know from falling into the same trap. Andrew Tate started as a kickboxer. Multiple world titles, tough image, but real fame exploded online. After Big Brother kicked him off in 2016 for past comments, he pivoted to the manosphere, promising young men escape from the matrix, financial freedom, and alpha status. His platforms? Hustlers University now, The Real World, paid courses on making money, The War Room, exclusive network for high-value men. He flooded TikTok with viral clips, luxury flexing, bold statements like, "Women are property," or "Weak men deserve nothing." Algorithms love the controversy. Views hit billions. By 2022, arrests in Romania hit. Allegations of human trafficking via the loverboy method, luring women with fake romance, then coercing them into sex work. Leaked texts showed promises of love turning into control, isolation. Threats. Romanian case hit roadblocks, procedural issues sent it back to prosecutors multiple times. UK civil suits from women alleging abuse and coercive control. Currently scheduled for June 2026, moved forward from an original early 2027 start. Florida opened investigations in 2025, yet Tate keeps posting, framing it all as the Matrix attacking a real man. This isn't random, it's a calculated psychological machine. Let's break down the key dark psychology tactics at play. Tied to Dark Triad traits: high narcissism, Machiavellianism, low empathy. 1. Love bombing, plus the loverboy method. First hook, overwhelming charm. Tate's alleged loverboy tactic: shower targets with attention, promises of luxury, love, security. Psychology exploits human need for validation, creates instant emotional dependency. Then, withdrawal. Suddenly cold, making you chase approval. Classic intermittent reinforcement, like gambling addiction. Followers feel chosen when praised, devastated when ignored. 2. Gaslighting and reality distortion. The Matrix is lying to you. Society wants weak men. Tate reframes criticism as proof. He's right. You're the victim of a system. Followers question their own doubts. Am I just brainwashed by media? This erodes self-trust, common in cults, abusive dynamics. 3. Triangulation and us versus them. One of the most powerful manipulation tactics used by charismatic figures is something called triangulation. It sounds complicated, but the idea is simple. You divide people into groups, and then you convince one group that they are better, smarter, and more awakened than everyone else. In Andrew Tate's case, this division is very clear. On one side, there's us, the so-called high-value men, the real ones, the people who see through the matrix. And on the other side, there's them, beta men. NPCs, women who disagree, anyone who questions the message, anyone who doesn't follow the rules. This is not accidental. It is a designed psychological trap. Because when you tell someone they are part of a special group, you give them something extremely powerful: identity. Many young men today feel ignored, disrespected, or invisible. So when someone tells them, "You're not weak, the world is against you," it feels like relief. Suddenly, their struggles aren't their fault. Society is the enemy. Critics are brainwashed, and disagreement becomes an attack. This is where triangulation becomes dangerous. Instead of followers comparing the leader's ideas to reality, they compare themselves to each other. Who is more loyal? Who is more alpha? Who is grinding harder? In private groups like the War Room, this competition allegedly intensified. Men were pushed to outdo one another, to prove commitment, to shame those who doubted, to mock anyone who wanted to leave. That creates jealousy, insecurity, and pressure. And here's the trick. All that emotional energy gets redirected away from the leader and toward the group. So if someone starts questioning things, they don't just fear losing information. They fear losing their brothers. Leaving no longer feels like a personal choice. It feels like betrayal. Betrayal of the group. Betrayal of the identity. Betrayal of the version of themselves they were told they could become. This is why us versus them thinking is so effective. It doesn't just create followers. It creates defenders. People who will argue online, attack critics, dismiss evidence, and protect the leader even when the leader is wrong. Because once your self-worth is tied to a group, walking away feels like losing yourself. And that's the real danger. Not strength, not confidence, but dependency disguised as brotherhood. 4. Isolation and dependency. How Andrew Tate separates followers from reality. One of the most powerful and most dangerous manipulation tactics Andrew Tate uses is isolation. Not physical isolation at first. Mental isolation. It starts subtly. Andrew Tate constantly tells his audience that most people around them are losers. That friends, family, teachers, women, society, even parents are holding them back. He repeats phrases like, "Your friends are broke. Your family doesn't understand success. Society wants you weak. If they disagree with me, they're part of the matrix." This isn't motivation. It's separation. Because once you believe everyone around you is blind or stupid, you stop listening to them. And when someone questions Andrew Tate, a parent, a girlfriend, a friend, that criticism is reframed as proof that Tate is right. Is greater than. They don't want you to escape. They're afraid of strong men. They're trying to pull you back down. Slowly, the follower starts cutting people off emotionally first, then socially. Now comes the dependency phase. Andrew Tate doesn't just take people away from their support system. He replaces it. He offers Hustlers University, the real world, the War Room, private chats, paid groups, inner circles. These communities become the follower's new family. Inside them, Andrew Tate is positioned as the teacher, the father figure, the proof of success. If you want approval, validation, or direction, it comes from him and his ecosystem. And here's the key psychological trick. Your identity becomes tied to staying inside his world. If you leave, you're weak. You failed. You couldn't handle the truth. So leaving doesn't feel like a choice. It feels like losing yourself. Andrew Tate reinforces this dependency by linking money and self-worth. He tells young men, if you're not rich, you don't matter. If you're broke, you're invisible. Paying for access is an investment in yourself. So followers spend money not just to learn, but to belong. The more they pay, the harder it becomes to admit, is greater than, maybe this isn't helping me. That's called the sunk cost fallacy. You've already invested time, money, pride. Walking away would mean admitting you were wrong. So you stay. This is how isolation becomes control. By cutting off outside voices and making himself the only trusted source of truth, Andrew Tate doesn't need to force loyalty. The system does it automatically. Followers defend him aggressively. They attack critics. They repeat his phrases word for word, because attacking him would feel like attacking their own identity. This isn't unique to Andrew Tate. It's a classic tactic used by cult leaders, abusive partners, and extremist movements. But Tate modernized it. He used social media algorithms, paid online communities, masculinity insecurity, to turn isolation into a business model. And the most dangerous part? Many followers don't realize they're isolated because it feels like freedom. But real freedom doesn't require cutting off everyone who disagrees with you. That's control wearing the mask of empowerment. Number 5. Narcissistic supply plus Dark Triad charisma. Andrew Tate doesn't just want followers. He needs attention. Positive or negative, it doesn't matter. This is what narcissistic supply really is. Every viral clip, every argument, every angry reaction feeds the exact same thing: his sense of importance. Andrew Tate speaks with absolute certainty. He never says, "I think this might work." He says, "This is how the world works." That unshakable confidence is magnetic, especially to young men who feel invisible, ignored, or powerless. When Tate speaks, he positions himself as the smartest man in the room, the most successful, the only one brave enough to tell the truth. And psychologically, people don't follow logic. They follow certainty. He combines this with classic Dark Triad charisma: high narcissism, high Machiavellianism, and very low empathy. He knows exactly what insecure men want to hear. He tells them, "You're not failing, the system failed you. You're not weak. Society made you weak. You deserve power, money, women, respect." That message feels like empowerment. But there's a hidden catch. The strength is borrowed, not earned. Followers don't feel powerful on their own. They feel powerful through him. They repeat his words. They defend his image. They live vicariously through his lifestyle. That's vicarious power. Tate constantly reinforces his dominance by performing success. Luxury cars, private jets, cigars, money stacks. The unspoken message is clear: I am living proof that my mindset works. When critics question the reality behind the image, Tate flips it instantly. They're jealous. They're broke. They're afraid of strong men. Criticism becomes fuel. It protects his ego and trains followers to attack anyone who challenges him. Here's the most important truth. Andrew Tate doesn't care whether you agree with him, as long as you're talking about him. Outrage spreads faster than reason, and social media algorithms reward conflict, extreme opinions, and emotional reactions. Every argument about Tate equals more views, more followers, more influence. That's not an accident. It's strategic. For followers, this creates a deep psychological trap. Their self-worth becomes tied to defending Tate, being different from the masses, feeling superior to outsiders. If Tate is wrong, then they were wrong for believing. So they double down. Loyalty grows stronger. Criticism gets rejected. Empathy fades away. That's how narcissistic supply turns into mass influence. Andrew Tate sells a very seductive fantasy. Become me, and you will finally matter. But real confidence never comes from idolizing another man. It comes from building your own identity without needing someone else's approval, attention, or rage. Because anyone who needs constant attention to feel powerful will never truly empower you. They will only use you. In 2026, this isn't ancient history. Andrew Tate's influence is still alive, and it's spreading. Teachers are reporting boys repeating his phrases word for word in classrooms. What began as online shock talk has become everyday language in schools. Misogyny is rising, repackaged as truth, real masculinity, or just being honest. Online, more young men are being pulled into the same narrative Tate pushes. Society is lying to you. Men are under attack. Power, dominance, and money are the only things that matter. This creates what psychologists call aggrieved entitlement, the deep belief that something rightfully theirs was stolen. And Tate is the one handing it back. But here's the truth. What's being sold as empowerment isn't growth. It's influence. And in 2026, that influence is still quietly reshaping how young men think, speak, and view the world. The real danger isn't one man. It's the system he built. One that feeds on division, outrage, and borrowed strength. Awareness is the only way to break free. Now that you know how these tactics work, here's how to spot them early and protect yourself. Red flags to watch for. 1. Over-the-top promises of quick success, love, or status, especially when they come fast and feel too good to be true. 2. Us versus them, framing that starts isolating you from friends, family, or anyone who questions the group. 3. Criticism, immediately labeled as weakness, jealousy, or being part of the matrix. 4. Pressure to pay for belonging courses, memberships, or leveling up that ties your self-worth to staying in. How to protect yourself starting today. 1. Question everything, even the most charismatic leaders. If it sounds absolute, pause and ask why. 2. Talk to trusted people outside the echo chamber, friends or family who aren't involved. They see what you might miss. 3. Build real self-worth through your own growth, skills, and relationships, not through someone else's dominance or approval. 4. If you feel manipulated or trapped, seek help. Therapists, support hotlines, or communities focused on healthy masculinity exist for exactly this. You are not weak for doubting. You are smart for questioning. Awareness is your strongest shield, and once you have it, no one can control you without your permission. This is dark psychology in action, and now you know how it works. Awareness is your strongest shield. Once you see the tactics, they lose their power over you and over anyone you care about. If this helped you spot something in your life, relationships, or online world, drop a comment below. Have you seen these tactics in action? Share your story. If you want more breakdowns like this, real tactics, real protection, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss one. Stay sharp. Stay aware. I'll see you in the next one.